What's up, everybody? It's your boy Beast Gamer Kuna here with another edition of Born with a Controller. This time around, we have homie from Hardcore League, Deadeye. Deadeye, how are you doing today?
Doing pretty good, man. Doing pretty good. Stoked to be here.
All right, we are stoked to have you, sir. So as you know, we ask questions. You answer these questions to the best of your ability. Anything that's a little bit too sensitive material, you don't have to answer at all, as long as you're comfortable.
That's right. I'm an open book. Let's do it.
All right, we got an open book here. Open guide book, a gamer's guide, if you will. What was your first gaming memory?
So I got my hands on the Atari back in the day. Now, I was really young when I first played it, and I didn't play it very long, but I played some Pong, things like that. I remember seeing E.T. We had the cartridges, but I didn't understand them at the time. But I enjoyed Pong for a while, and then I found Nintendo at my neighbor's house, and it was over from there.
I like that he just found Nintendo at his neighbor's house. I just picturing you seeing this like glowing suitcase like in Pulp Fiction, and it was Nintendo.
Oh man, it was the original. It was Mario. I went over there and I saw him playing it on his TV. I saw the controller in his hand. I was like, "What is that?" And I sat down, and that kid became my best friend. I was at his house every day after that. Mario was amazing to me. It was the coolest thing ever.
So with that, what led you on to keep on going with gaming? I mean, how was it as your age with gaming? Did you have some type of support? I mean, how did that go with you?
Well, I just had a big imagination, and as soon as I saw the game, my mind was always going to, I wonder what's next, what's the next cool thing? And I remember playing Zelda for the first time. It was one of the first RPG type games that I played, and I remember going into the first level and beating this three-headed horse thing and thinking that I had beat the game. I thought that I had beat the game. I was jumping up and down, and I realized there was like 99 more levels. But that just excited me even more. And as games expanded and grew, I kept going through them and just waiting for the next thing to come out. And it's like everything that I would imagine would come out the next year. You would see new graphics, new aspects of the game that they'd introduced, and I always liked that.
So was that at that exact moment that you knew that you was born the game, or was there another game involved that really, concrete that experience?
Very eclectic. As I've gotten older, I've gravitated more toward first-person shooters, RPGs, things like that. But in the early years, man, I would play anything. I would just, any game that came across, I would play it and see what it was about. It was so new and fascinating that anything that come along, it didn't matter what it was, I would play it. And that just all the time, just the game in itself, gaming overall, being able to, in an augmented reality control something like that, it was fascinating to me.
Oh, so yeah, you didn't pretty much discriminate on anything. You was just like, I like the gaming world, I want to play it all.
How long I'd play it.
Nice. So at that level, what was the first game that you remember conquering? Like, it was that many hours, it was the first game you ever beaten by yourself.
That would have been Zelda. That would have been when I beat that first level and I thought to beat the game, and I realized that I didn't beat the game. It was a mission. From then on out, that game would be beat, and that was the first one that I beat through and through. That I remember as a big achievement. I'm pretty sure I beat Mario before that, but I don't recollect that as being a huge I don't remember it as well as beating Zelda. That was an accomplishment.
Yeah, I thought it's like your biggest achievement when you went really through that grueling game. I mean, yeah, it's Mario, but Zelda, from my remember, was like a bigger experience, a big journey with all the cave dwelling and stuff like that. So I can understand that. So,
that I competed with.
Yeah, you competed with?
Well, he was older, and he was he knew a lot more, and he played a lot of the RPGs, and he understood them better than I did, and I didn't. So I was starting to get on his level at that time when I beat Zelda, because now I was able to play RPGs on the same level of my brother. So that was important to me.
Oh, okay. So you had some inspiration. I like that. Kept you going and driving to be. Did that drive you to have your competitive spirit that you have now?
Oh my gosh, my brother played the biggest role, and it's because when we got into fighting games, Mortal Kombat, Soul Calibur, things like that, Virtual Fighter back in the day, younger than my brother, and he was way better at RPGs, but when it come to fighting games, I would destroy him, and he was older than me, and so I normally paid for that when I would laugh or something when I would beat him, because he would be sitting right next to me. This was before, online, but that I realized then at that moment when my brother got so upset with me just because I was winning, I knew that from then on out, for me to be 100% satisfied, I would have to be beating other human beings rather than computers. I knew that that's where I wanted to take it, was to beat other people, because it was a whole new skill set, and it just made it so much more intriguing and fun to actually compete against another person rather than the computer.
So you like the PvP more than the PvE action?
Yes, which I enjoy both of them. I love the story modes on games, but as far as just the complete fulfillment is when you dominate another player. You know, there's somebody on the other end with a controller in their hand going, "Man, that guy, I just couldn't win. I couldn't pull it out. He beat me. He's a better player."
I'm not gonna lie, it's that other satisfaction, because when you're playing against a computer, it becomes predictable after a while. But when you're playing against another human being, things become, you gotta really adapt to their patterns, and sometimes they do something new, and it's that other satisfaction when you hear them grueling and anguish.
Yes.
So, with that being said, what led you on to first-person shooters? Like, what led you to the competitive path? Like, besides your brother and everything like that, that got you more into taking on a competitive spirit? Like, what was your first competition that you went to?
Competition that I ever went to was probably going to be when I ran a team for Rainbow Six Rogue Spear back in the mid '90s. It was a team that we ran, and we actually got to rank 3 on the RSSL ladder. And again, these back when all this was new, the ladders online were completely user generated. There wasn't any big entities that would hold these, but it was just amongst the communities. And that would have been my first real competitive match, and we did really good. It was a blast, and that was one of the first person shooters. Before that, though, it would be stuff like GoldenEye, and also played a little bit with Half-Life as well. But early on, before internet and before competitive matches, I would have to say GoldenEye was a big influence, because you could get 4 people in there, and now you're beating more people than just one-on-one. There's more going on, and that kind of led down that path to start competing against more and more people.
When you moved on to 64 that you was talking about, PS2 era, like, what was your favorite era of gaming? Like, what console had you the most biggest impact to?
I was definitely on PlayStation at that time. PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2. I rode both of those consoles out for a long while, and when I did, I had some buddies that we'd play SOCOM with. Again, leading into competitive, because that was even more. I forget the player count back then. I think it was like something like 10v10 or 8v8 maybe was how many you could have in there. But again, it was stepping up from the 4v4 and GoldenEye and things like that. And that was first real competitive experience in console as well.
Okay, I see what you're saying. So, okay, let's go into the whole career aspect of this. What led you to what you got right now, to Hardcore League?
The Hardcore League, what got us here? Well, what ultimately got us here was, and as much as I hate to say it, with my personal opinions now, I did play COD, Modern Warfare, and stuff like that, and played with some people there. But then as soon as I touched Battlefield, I touched Battlefield Bad Company 2, and I started playing it, and just the mechanics of the game, the realness of it, the destruction of the environment was so impressive to me that I didn't put it down after that, and I started playing with people, and we formed a little group. And it was called TWD, and that was my competitive team for about 6 years. And in Battlefield Bad Company 2, we didn't do much competing until we hit Battlefield 3. We hit Battlefield 3, and we started competing. We dragged in more members, so our team got pretty large, and so we wanted to compete large. And so we started scheduling matches with other large teams. There wasn't a whole lot of avenues to do that. There was a couple, but we believe that the game should be played the way it's made, and all these other places kept restricting us, so we would just schedule these matches on the side with teams. And it got a little bit bigger in Battlefield 4, and we competed in Battlefield 4 for a long, long time. Toward the end of Battlefield 4 was when I decided, as there's no place for large-scale teams to actually compete right now, let's see if we can do something for that. And we did. Toward the end of Battlefield 4, we even though the game was 5 years old at the time, we started running competitive matches and did competitive matches almost every weekend until the release of Battlefield 1. And then here we are now. We're rolling on tons of matches, got tons of teams in now. We got gamers community helping us out. We've got awesome people like you, Kuma, and Kumazoku Entertainment, Kelly over there with the Xbox One Battlefield community, and Dakota and Lady over there with Dice Versus community, just making it, just is shooting us through the roof right now. We're doing really good, and we're really excited about what we've got coming down the road as well.
And I noticed the whole melting pot of all the good gamers congregating together, getting each other, boosting each other's spirits and everything like that, which is awesome. So now with that being said, your evolution is incredible. You went from regular gamer, competitive gamer, and from what I've seen, shoutcaster. Now, how did you get into that?
It goes back to when I ran my competitive team. I was the leader of that team. I took a lot of responsibility for it, from setting up matches, and wins, losses. I took them, I took them to heart as it was my team. And I would always want to have a reference to go back and see where I went wrong, what I could do different, and things like that. And a couple of times we had shoutcasters for our matches, but not very many. And I just thought that was a great aspect of large-scale competitive Battlefield, because there's so much going on. If you can get somebody with an overview covering it for you, it's one, entertaining, and two, it allows the teams to go back. Plus, the teams, they want to see their name in lights, so to speak. And I enjoyed that when I was a team leader, seeing my logo pop up, and knowing that other people are getting to see that right there. So that I really enjoyed that, and I wanted to bring that to our hardcore league teams, and I've got the resources at hand to do so. And so that allows us to promote our teams during the matches and shoutcast the way that we do. And so that's kind of how I got into it, because that's what I wanted for my team, and I have the ability to provide it for other teams. So I'm happy to do that.
Yeah, dude, that is impressive, though. Because honestly, you give me this whole nostalgia every time I even play a Battlefield game, and I know you're streaming or casting in that case, and I feel like you're the eye in the sky in the helicopter talking about the whole Battlefield and everything like that. It's freaking awesome, dude.
Too, I love it, and that's what I enjoy. And see, I know there's going to be. I want people to get Battlefield. I want people to get it. I want them to play it, because I think it's a great game. That's my personal opinion. I think it's a great game, and I think it can. Amazing things can happen with it. So when I do shoutcast it, I shoutcast it from a perspective of maybe somebody watching this shoutcast hasn't seen it, or they don't fully understand what's going on. And so I cast it in a way that even if it's your first time watching it, you're going to know what's going on. And I think the viewers have been real responsive to that. Even the gamers that do know what's going on, it gives them from a different angle.
No, I see what you're definitely saying. That perspective is really nice. And with that being said, are you just planning on sticking with the Battlefield area, or are you planning on branching out to other games once, your name really, really gets out there? Because I honestly feel that you and your voice, definitely how you survey the game area, you can definitely shoutcast for a lot of other games.
Well, we like it. We like to look at it with our shoutcast, with the way that we communicate with our teams, and the way that we don't restrict the game that we do cover right now. We want to bring that entire experience to other games. We want to take it to other games to where we can take a game and, without restricting it very much or anything, make it competitive. That's where we're going to try to excel. Because a lot of the other leagues right now, they do a lot of restrictions, and they've just kind of carried over from the status quo. They stand on tradition that these things get restricted. You don't do this. And we're going to try to change that up and make the games more playable on a competitive level, as the way you would when you just jump into a random lobby and start playing. So that gives everybody a chance to compete, because they don't jump into a competitive match and all of a sudden they're handicapped because they can't use what they're used to. And to answer your question, yes, we do plan on expanding into games, and we do plan on bringing this same experience that we have now with Battlefield into these other games, and even into some games that people might think that isn't competitive as well. Because a lot of people told us in the beginning that large-scale Battlefield wasn't possible to do competitively, but we're doing it. And so we want to maintain that standard and try to move forward with that same overall outlook.
See, I love the fact that when people told you you can't, you showed them that you can. That's very admirable. Now, when it comes down to saying we as in a whole, how many people are on your team right now?
When I say we, it's it's the proverbial we as a Battlefield community, I think. When I do say we, as far as and our hardcore league staff, everybody on it, they believe that as well. I've got my co-founder Freemason. He believes in it 100%. The staff does. We've got Pin Bosch, our community leader. He helps us out with our community events, which even though we are a competitive league, we connect with the rest of the community. And Pin Bosch is head of that right there. We've got several shoutcasters. KLW Hitman Pike, Freemason Shoutcast. We've got Rebel Letter that shoutcast. We've got several people on our staff that do moderating. We've got Mambo with the gamers community come over and moderates on our PC side. We do cover PC, PlayStation 4, and Xbox, all three platforms. We've got Jet Vexed. He's one of our staff members on the Hardcore League. He just moderated a match last night. We've got Hardcore Ashy. He helps us out with social media. We have got a ton of help on our end, not to mention gamers community. They put a lot of resources in our hands as far as members to help out and things like that anytime we need it as well. And Dice Versus community lady over there, she helps us out. And as they've met me, I think that proverbial we that I talk about incorporates all those people that I said from gamers community and Dice Versus community. Even some of those people, I think in the beginning didn't think it was possible, but when they see how we do it, they're like, oh wow, that's pretty cool. And that's what we love. We absolutely enjoy that, just somebody seeing that it can be done now, and so we're excited.
Damn right, shoot, that's badass. So we're going to backtrack a bit, go back into your personal career as a battlefielder. So, what's your favorite class, and what's your favorite weapon?
That has when I was in Battlefield Bad Company 2, I was a sniper to the bone. I didn't hardly play anything else. I just loved how you had to lead targets and how there was actual physics applied to the game. That just fascinated me. So I ran sniper for a long time. When I started leading a competitive team, though, I had to be in there with my squads. So on Battlefield 3 and 4, I would still snipe, and I'm pretty versatile. I like to run every kit, and as a team leader, I would run every kit to kind of have an understanding of it, so I'd know how I want each kit in my team to run. But for the most part, in Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4, I would say medic, engineer. Now in Battlefield 1, as I've got into Battlefield 1, I found myself running support and medic a lot. Probably support more than medic here recently, and I don't know what has brought that on. I think just necessity. I'm one of those people where whatever I see is needed for the squad, that's what I'll spawn in as. But it seems for some reason I've gravitated to support and medic in Battlefield 1.
Honestly, I think it's because I'm a main support. It's the LMGs, dude. You cannot go wrong with LMGs and limpet charges. They're the best things.
I roll that bar, and I roll the crossbow.
Oh, see, yes, the crossbow I recently just got into. I mean, I like the support because it makes me more brave to run at tanks. And I just do a lot of crazy stuff when I'm a support.
And put more, because it does do some good damage to the tanks, and I've been telling myself that I'm going to, and I just always forget to change that crossbow out, and then I need it when a tank's there and I don't have it, and I tell myself, all right, next time change it, and it just never happens for some reason. It just doesn't get done.
Now, I'm noticing a lot of the videos that you have shown me, and I'm cracking up and I'm loving them. What was your favorite clip?
From the videos that I sent you?
Yeah. I would have to
say gaming with my kids. That is I have a blast gaming with my children. So those two with me and Bruno, my kids are so different. All of my kids, I have 3 of them, and each one of them is different in all aspects, and including gaming. Some of them dig other game genres, and I'm completely cool, and I support that. My middle son, Bruno, he definitely is really online with the type of games that I play. He's a first-person shooter, and he's got that real deep competitive drive to beat other human players. That is his favorite part as well, just like me. My oldest, he's a big GTA fan. He loves his community, his group there in GTA, and they like doing the open world. And I love open world games like GTA as well. I play GTA. I love it. I've logged a lot of hours in there. I'm still pretty eclectic. But and then my youngest, he's kind of whatever. He just likes all kinds of games, and he has a lot of friends.
as a gaming parent, would you say that this actually brought you closer with your kids?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, we have a lot of fun gaming together and talking. I mean, we're definitely a family that games, and sometimes I'll even troll my own kids. I ain't gonna lie. Every now and again, I'll jump in GTA, wait for go rolling up to them with a car with sticky bombs on it or something. Or I'll jump in their party and I'll be like, "Oh no, I'm playing Siege right now. I'm not playing GTA." While I'm getting in the car to head toward them, just so I can get the reaction in the party. Dad, what are you doing, man? I just got that out of the shop, dude. I just spray painted it. Yeah, it's
you
fun.
are such a villain, man. That's just cruel, but I like the spirit. I love in the spirit. Well, we're coming to a close to this interview. As I like to ask every gamer, what would you like to say to future people that might be going into the field, or future gamers that might, want to get into this, feel discouraged or anything like that?
Well, I would say that is to keep it light and to remember that your viewers, there's a chance they don't know what's going on, and you're there to entertain them and let them know what's going on. I think that's really going to change the game in esports. That's going to bring it into a whole nother level, is taking these matches an entertainment level to where it's entertaining to watch, no matter if you're a pro gamer and you've played that game 100 times, or you just might happen to be walking by the screen and you see it going on and it looks and sounds entertaining and you can tell what's going on. I would say that to focus on be entertaining and informational. You got to let them know what's going on. You can't just be cracking jokes. You gotta have good, solid information that everybody can understand.
Damn, that's tight. See, that's some good advice for them. So anything that you want to tell your fans or our viewers right now, that anything future events that you're going to be working on that you can disclose?
As far as future events, I know that we've got the DICE versus community event coming up here after a while. As far as a hardcore league, we are doing matches every weekend. And as far as our viewers go, we appreciate each and every one of our viewers, and we hope to keep pushing the envelope, bringing you new graphics, bringing you new angles, bringing you new teams. And in the future, we've got some PC events coming up. We've got an event coming up with Kelly and her community on the 28th. That's going to be a melee event, and there's going to be some stuff given away for that, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, we've got a lot of stuff going on, and we definitely appreciate the support of the community. We're going to keep trying to do a good job. We're trying to bring the best competitive experience we can from both an entertainment aspect and a competitive aspect on the team side. So we appreciate the support, and we're going to keep working hard for all of our viewers and fans and everybody that likes what the Hardcore League's doing.
All right, cool. Well, thank you for sitting with us on here at Kuma's Open Entertainment. Dude, so it was a pleasure talking to you. Yo, everybody, I want y'all to check out Hardcore League on twitch.tv. Definitely check out Deadeye on Twitter. Definitely Hardcore League on Twitter. All the links going to be in the description box below. Hope you hit the like and subscribe button, and definitely check out next time. Deadeye, please give them a send-off.
Hardcore League, real rules, real competition. Check us out. We're the only ones doing it. Check out Kuma too, if you haven't already done it.
Yo, everybody, peace out.